Hey everyone, how's it going? Azrin here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's Learn Gujarati with Me podcast episode, and of course, YouTube video. Today we're going to do another grammar practice lesson, and we're going to work on the negative present tense. So Gujarati is a peculiar language in comparison to, well, let's say many other languages that I personally have studied. And it's peculiar because the negative sentences often follow different rules than positive sentences. So if we take a really simple positive sentence, let me stop my screen share. If we take a very simple positive sentence like I eat whatever, like I eat, right? Hu khao chu. If I don't eat, it's not like I just add the word don't. It's not that simple. There's actually a whole different set of rules. The good news is today those rules will be a heck of a lot more clear to you. And they're actually not crazy complicated. It's not like so difficult where you'll be like, whoa, this is way too hard. So let me share my screen one more time and let's dive into how this works. Now, I actually think that on my YouTube channel and the podcast, I think if memory serves correctly, I'm not even sure if I've taught the negative present tense before. So I will actually take a few moments to teach it, and then we'll do some practice together. Okay? Let's dive right in. I'll zoom in a bit. So negative present tense, one of the key words to know is the word nati. Nati means not. You'll notice I've written this with a capital TH. So that's going to be an interdental t sound. Nati. We bite our tongue on that TH sound. Nati. Ta, ta, ta. Nati. So in the present tense, if you want to say I don't do something, we're going to have hu to say I. We're going to use nati to say not. And we're going to have the suffix to or the suffix ti on the verb. So for example, I don't talk, hu bolto nati. Or actually, frankly, hu bolto nati, we could also have, for instance, we could put nati over here as well. Hu bolto nati or hu nati bolto. Both of them are correct. So this is correct, hu bolto nati or hu nati bolto. Both are equally correct. Remember, Gujarati is a language that has flexible word order. We are able to put words pretty much anywhere in a sentence, and the sentence is still correct, pretty much. So, hu nati bolto, hu bolto nati. That would mean I don't speak. The next example here, hu chalto nati, or hu nati chalto. The next sentence here, hu nati dorto, or hu dorto nati. Next one, hu nati lakto, or hu lakto nati. By the way, these mean I don't speak, hu bolto nati. I don't walk, hu chalto nati. I don't run, hu dorto nati. I don't write, hu lakto nati. I don't do, hu karto nati. I don't sleep, hu ungto nati. I don't listen, hu sambhar, hu sambharto nati. I don't learn, hu shikto nati. Now you might be wondering, Azrin, on this table, I'm seeing that there are two possible suffixes. One option is to, the other option is ti. So when would I say hu bolti nati, hu chalti nati, hu dorti nati, hu lakti nati? Well, the ti is used for the feminine. So if I were a woman, I would say, and I wanted to say I don't walk, I might say hu chalti nati. Let's look at the word for tu. So if you wanted to say you don't walk, you don't talk, you don't do something, we're going to use tu. Tu chalto nati, tu bolto nati, tu dorto nati, tu lakto nati, tu karto, tu. The same suffix as hu, but we're going to use tu as a subject pronoun. Again, if the person you are talking to is a woman or a girl, it's going to be ti because that is a woman or a girl, right? As a reminder, you might know this already. The word tu means you and it's informal. So I'll actually add that in right here, right now, actually. informal. If you want to use the formal word for you, we're going to use the word tame, right? So this is now formal. Here we go. Let's add that in. Formal. Now we're going to have the suffix ta. Tame bolta nathi, tame chalta nathi, tame dorta nathi, tame lakhta nathi, tame karta nathi, tame ungta nathi, tame sambarta nathi, tame kain shikta nathi, right? You don't talk, you don't walk, you don't run, you don't write, you don't do, you don't sleep, you don't listen, you don't learn, right? And actually, I'm going to correct a tiny spelling error that I have on my worksheet. Let's do that right now. So sambharto has a nice ara sound. You'll notice I've said this. I say this pretty much in every video. That there we go. That is now fixed. I say this pretty much in every single video that I use capital letters when I write. And so whenever you see a capital letter, it's different than if it were a not capital letter. So capital L, for example, and hu sambar to nati, tame sambar ta nati. That's, I'll show it to you. We're going to say a typical L sound like la 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 la, like in English, but we're going to use the bottom part of our tongue. So we're going to flip our tongue upside down. You can actually see in my mouth a little bit. Like, look at how my tongue is like flapping around. Look at that. It really flaps around a lot because you're using the bottom part of your tongue, right? Okay, let me share my screen again. And again, as a reminder, for all of these here, the nati could go before the verb or after. Tame nati bolta, tame bolta nati, tame chalta nati, tame nati chalta, etc. So on and so forth. For he and she, again, we have a. I'm just going to simplify this. We're going to have a. There we go. A for spoken language. Te typically for written language. Again, we're going to have to or ti again. E chalto nati, bolto nati, dorto nati for masculine. E nati bolti, chalti nati, dorti nati for the feminine. For they, we're gonna have ta, so eloko chalta nati, bolta nati. Again, we have this ta ending again for the they form. Eloko, as a reminder, when we write, more often than not, we're gonna use teo, not the word eloko. Eloko is more when we speak. When we write, it is teo for the most part. Lastly, for we have ame or apre. Ame or apre. And again, we're going to have a ta suffix. Ame bolta nati, chalta nati, dorta nati, so on and so forth. Okay, and again, let's fix this little spelling error. Sambharta. Sambharta. There we go. Sambharto. There we go. Perfect. Those errors are now corrected. Let's look at some exercises. So here you can try to do these by yourself first. So pause this video, pause this podcast, and then let's do these together. Okay, so let's do these together here. I'm going to put this microphone somewhere else. So I have two hands to type. Here we go. Slightly annoying thing about this microphone is like, if I hold it up, I find it like is a little bit more clear on the audio, but whatever. I'm sure you guys can hear me just fine. Okay, so I do not work. In the masculine, हूँ काम करतो नथी. In the feminine, हूँ काम करती नथी. I do not study. हूँ भणतो नथी. That's masculine. हूँ भणती नथी. Feminine. I do not cook. हूँ Randvu or rand? Yes. Hey, now I have a slight doubt if randvu has a dha or a da. Let's just double check here together. Randvu is a dha. Perfect. So hu rand to nati for the masculine. Hu rand ti nati for the feminine. Huran to nati masculine. Huran ti nati feminine. I do not drive. I'll even slightly change this one. I do not drive a car. Let's just make it a bit more specific. Here we go. Hu gadi chalao to nati hu gadi. And again, chalauto, and again, I hope you see the pattern here. Chalauto in the masculine, chalauti in the feminine, right? Do I need to write that whole thing out? I'm not sure. I'm just going to write to ti just to save a bit of time. I do not sing. Hu gato, or feminine, gati nati. I do not speak French. Hu French bolto, or bolti nati. As a reminder, the nati could go in different parts of the sentence. Hu French nati bolto is absolutely correct as well. Hu basketball ramto, or ramti nati. I do not drink coffee, which is true. I don't like it. Hu coffee pito, or piti nati. I do not watch TV. Hu TV joto, or joti nati. I do not play whatever you play. I don't know. Oh my goodness, why isn't it typing? There we go. Ramto, or ramti nati. I do not run. Dorto, or dorti nati. I do not dance. Nachto, or nachti. We can just put ti actually. Nachto, nachti nati. Again, nachto for feminine, nachti for, or nachto for masculine, nachti for feminine. I do not swim. Tarto, or tarti nati. I do not read. Vanshto, or vanshti nati. And these are all the I forms. Now, what if we want to do use? What if it's like, you don't swim, you don't play, you don't cook, you don't? Let's copy paste these together. Okay, let's try some with you. So if we have, for example, you do not work, you do not study, right? You do not cook, you do not drive a car, you do not sing. Let's try some of these here. So have a look, see, pause the video, pause the podcast, see if you can figure it out. We'll start with the informal you, okay? So you're back, you've unpaused. Guess what? For the informal you, it's really easy. Tu kam karto nati. Tu, like we're just gonna change all these hu, change to tu. Really, really, really easy. Like you do not work, tu kam karto nati, tu kam karti nati. Right? All of these hu just change to tu. So easy, so easy, right? Really, really, really easy. Nothing crazy. In fact, I'm gonna pause the video, go change them, and then unpause, and we'll keep going. It's so easy. Okay, and we're back. Let me read you these answers here. So you do not work, informal, tu kam karto nati. Feminine, tu kam karti nati. You do not study, tu bhanto nati, masculine. Tu bhanti nati, feminine. You don't cook, tu ranto nati, masculine. Tu ranti nati, feminine. Tu gadi chalauto nati, masculine. You do not drive a car. Tu gadi chalauti nati, feminine. You do not drive a car. You do not sing. Again, these are all informal. Tu gato nati, tu gati nati. You do not speak French. Tu French bolto nati, bolti nati. You do not play basketball. Tu basketball ramto nati, ramti nati. Again, ramto, the to forms are all masculine. Ti forms are all feminine. You do not drink coffee. Tu coffee pito nati, coffee piti nati. You do not watch TV. Tu TV joto nati, tu TV joti nati. You do not play. Tu ramto nati, tu ramti nati. You do not run. Tu dorto nati, tu dorti nati. You do not dance. Tu nachto nati, tu nachti nati. You do not swim. Tu tarto nati, tu tarti nati. You do not read. Tu vanshto nati, tu vanshti nati. We can do some formal ones here. I've already copy pasted the English. So you do not work. Here we go. Let's delete the informals just so you have the. Actually, I won't delete them yet. Actually, yes, I will delete them. Let's delete them right now. Let's delete all these. You can try to do these on your own. Here we are. I'll zoom out a little bit. Perfect. Now you can see all of them. Pause the video, try to do these on your own. You do not work, you do not study, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. We have the formal variants. Okay, here we are. So I've actually typed everything out. I paused like a good 5-10 minutes and just got this all typed out. So we have a look here. We have all these thumbs on the screen. Yeah, should be pretty straightforward here. I'm not going to read everything here, but should be pretty straightforward, I think. I think so anyway. And let's have a look at the we's. So if you want to look at some we's, we do not work, we do not study. Feel free to pause the video now. Do these on your own. I'll type the answers in a moment. I'll scroll down. Here we go. Pause the video. Try typing the answers out. Here's some more. Pause the video. Try typing the answers out, or writing them out, rather. Here's some more. Type them out, write them out, try on your own. I'll give you the answer. I'll give you the answer key in a moment. And that's all of them. Okay, let's scroll back up. We're gonna pause the recording, and like magic, we're gonna have a bunch of answers that show up on the screen. Here we go. Okie dokie, let's have a look at the answer key. They're all typed in like magic. Let's scroll down. We're gonna start with the we's. Yes, the we's, I believe. I'll zoom in. I'll read these all to you. Why not? So, ame or apne kaam karta nathi. We do not work. We do not study. Ame apne bharta nathi. As a reminder, ame, I'm saying ame apne, they're two different words for we. Ame is a word we use to exclude the person we're talking to. So, for example, if me and John don't study, but you study, and I'm telling you that John and I don't study, I'm going to use ame because you study, but John and I, we don't. I'm excluding you. But if you, me, and John, all three of us don't study, and I'm telling you that, I'm including you, the three of us, all of us don't study, that is apne. I think it's like lesson 1 or lesson 2 or lesson 3, like a really early lesson. I actually go through this in more depth. Anyway, very, very straightforward concept though. Anyway, ame apne bharta nathi, we do not study. Ame or apne randta nathi, we do not cook. Ame or apne gadi chalauta nathi, we do not drive a car. Ame apne gata nathi, we do not sing. Ame or apne French bolta nathi, we do not speak French. Ame or apne basketball ramta nathi, we do not play basketball. Ame apne coffee pita nathi, we do not drink coffee. Ame or apne TV jhota nathi, we do not watch TV. Ame or apne ramta nathi, we do not play. Ame apne dorta nathi, we do not run. Ame or apne nachta nathi, we do not dance. Ame apne tarta nathi, we do not swim. Ame apne vanchta nathi, we do not read. Going on to he's and she's. E kaam karto nathi, karti nathi, karto for masculine, karti for feminine. E bhanto nathi, e bhanti nathi, he or she does not study. E ranto nathi, e ranti nathi, he or she does not cook. E gadi chalauto nathi, e gadi chalauti nathi, he or she does not drive a car. And actually, it's actually funny. I just noticed I missed all the nots in these sentences. Let's fix that. Does not cook, does not drive a car. But we'll fix that right now. He or she does not speak French. E French bolto nathi, e French bolti nathi. He or she does not play basketball. E basketball ramto nathi, e basketball ramti nathi. He or she does not drink coffee. E coffee pito nathi, e coffee piti nathi. He or she does not watch TV. E TV jhoto nathi, e TV jhoti nathi. He or she does not play. E ramto nathi, e ramti nathi. He or she does not run. E dorto nathi, e dorti nathi. Again, to for masculine, ti for feminine. He or she does not dance. e naczto nathi, e nachti nathi. He or she does not swim. E tarto nathi, e tarti nathi. He or she does not read. E vanchto nathi, e vanchti nathi. Okay, moving on to the days. They do not work. E loko kam karta nathi. They do not study. E loko bhanata nathi. They do not cook. E loko ranta nathi. They do not drive a car. E loko gadi chalauta nathi. They do not sing. E loko gata nathi. They do not speak French. E loko French bolta nathi. They do not play basketball. E loko basketball ramta nathi. They do not drink coffee. E loko coffee pita nathi. They do not watch TV. E loko TV jota nathi. They do not play. E loko ramta nathi. They do not run. E loko dorta nathi. They do not dance. E loko nachta nathi. They do not swim. E loko tarta nathi. They do not read. E loko vanchta nathi. Boom, we got to the end. 84 different exercises. That's a lot. Congratulations for making it to the end. What I would recommend, by the way, is a way to practice, whether it's this kind of conjugation or just practicing in general. There's some really straightforward things you can do. One of my favorite things is just to journal about your day. What did you do? What did you not do? Where did you go? What did you see? Like, get really detailed about it. How are you feeling? Just a nice way to practice. Use Google Translate if you need to. That's perfectly fine. Ask friends or family, people you know, wife, husband, ask them as well. Like, hey, how do I say this? They'll help you with it, right? A really straightforward way to practice. And you can do that day in and day out. Such an easy practice to get into. You can always do these kinds of translation drills. You can come back to these videos and do these kinds of translation exercises. That's also something you can absolutely do. Some of you watching this are taking private lessons with me. In fact, these videos, are the topics for the videos often are targeted or tailored for people who are taking private lessons. And so that is another way. If you want, you can hire me for private lessons. We can practice conversation. I can make videos specifically for you, like I do for some of you already, as you can see right now. And that's another very easy way to practice. And yeah, I'd say those are some straightforward, easy things that everyone can start to do literally as of right now. Have a wonderful rest of your night. It's nighttime, at least for me, as I'm recording this. And I'll see you in the next video or podcast. Aujo. Bye.